trash is important, and we need to do more to support our residents. But in doing the recycling, and I was proud to be the original sponsor of what would have created a statewide public-private partnership to have recycling be encouraged across our state, including here in Baltimore County. I can tell you that we'll do more for our environment. We will give our residents recycling. And sometimes it's as simple as actually doing the outreach to encourage the behavior you want. It's allowing for compost, which we don't do, but other counties do. It's investing more in our open space and preservation programs. We actually spend less money, you might find this hard to believe, in Carroll County, both as a percentage and as an actual dollar basis than they do on their land preservation. So we have to do that, and then also do things, like I said, a bold vision with a date certain where Baltimore County becomes energy independent and actually strive towards it. Because if we don't set ambitious goals, we're never going to get where we need to go together.
Thank you.
Dr. Olszewski, what is your position on increasing funding for stem cell research?
We've got very good at pronouncing names, by the way. I support it. I support anything that can help improve the life outcomes of our residents, and that includes not just research, but also, that's why I'm such a staunch supporter of education, because I think investing in things that make our schools a school to a job pipeline instead of a school to prison pipeline, improving health outcomes, making our schools community centers where people have access to things like healthcare and job training and ELL, English language learner classes. I mean, those are all things that improve quality of life. And so I will do anything and support anything that makes the vibrancy of our communities stronger.
Senator Brochin?
So in 2007, I was moved to the Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs Committee. And it was to cast the key voting committee, so it would come out 6 to 5 embryonic stem cell research. Embryonic stem cell research is doing wonders for people who have Parkinson's disease and other paralysis and other things. And in my mind, it's a no-brainer. I mean, they take these petri dishes at GBMC and they literally flush them down the toilet. It is a key difference between my opponent and I. He voted against stem cell research, along with 15 of the most conservative Republicans in the House of Delegates against embryonic stem cell research. And it's one of the proudest votes I've made since I've been in the legislature.
Dr. Olszewski?
The vote was not against all stem cell research. The vote actually allowed for stem cell to continue. It was an ethical stem cell vote. And I've also consistently voted increased funding in stem cell during my time in the state legislature, and we continue to advocate for that as a county executive with my help in the state legislature.
Thank you. Councilman Almond?
Baltimore County does have some incredible institutions here that we can certainly be proud of, and stem cell research is something that we need to continue.
Thank you. Next question is for Councilman Almond. The opioid epidemic is an issue facing our country and our county. What steps will you take as county executive to address this crisis?
I'd like to tackle the opioid issue with some of the same partnerships and vigor that we attacked the spice issue. Spice is a dangerous drug that was geared towards our most vulnerable young children. And through partnerships with Scott Schellenberger, with the chief of police, and with other community partners, we were able to put legislation together to rid the county of that dangerous drug. We need more resources for opioid addiction. Talking to our local hospitals and centers for opioid treatment. And I think it's important moving forward that we talk with our health officials who are the experts in the field, and we set up these centers to help people with addiction, opioids as well as other drug addictions.
Thank you. Senator Brochin.
So let's be clear, the job as county executive takes leadership. And it takes intelligence to look at other jurisdictions, see what they're doing, and say, hey, that's a great idea, and I think we should be doing it. That's what they're doing in Anne Arundel County. In Anne Arundel County, under Steve Shu, the county executive, they have treatment on demand. So if you have an addiction issue and you're ready for help, you go to a police station, you go to a fire station, you're met with a caseworker, and they will give you treatment on demand. Right now, 15 people with addiction issues a month are going there, and they're getting treatment. If I become Baltimore County Executive, that's what we're going to do. We're going to do treatment on demand. I'm going to build a first-class opioid treatment center in Baltimore County. You will be met with a caseworker, we'll be ready for help, and we cannot stand by and let this happen. Baltimore County has the second highest number of overdoses in the state of Maryland. It's not going to go away by magic. There's not some silver bullet out there. Anybody who deals with people who have addiction issues in their family, friends, or loved ones knows that it's a process. It might take 2, 3, or 4 times. We cannot stand by and be silent on this issue.
Thank you, Senator.
For our final question, Senator Brochin, what steps would you take to improve public transportation in Baltimore County?
So I think we need a regional partnership with Baltimore City, and it's the only way we're going to be able to move forward. We have an inherent problem in Baltimore County with the lack of transportation resources to get people to jobs. They're doing amazing work at the former Bethlehem Steel site. And how do you get somebody from Little or Marystown over there? It can't just be a Baltimore County issue. Over at Trade Point Atlantic, it would have to be something where we're going to work with Baltimore City and maybe a modified type red line where we go to the governor, put together a plan for a modified type red line, work in partnership with the city, and each put up funding, as the states put up a piece of funding, so we can start moving people to where the jobs are, and that's going to do tremendous, create tremendous opportunities to increase employment and increase wages in Baltimore County.
Thank you. Councilman Almond?
Yes, for instance, at Trade Point Atlantic, the folks who are in charge there and who have done wonders with the Sparrows Point site, they have buses now that will be bringing workers to Trade Point Atlantic. But the senator is right, it needs to be a regional approach with the city and with the surrounding counties, because adding another lane to the Beltway, I don't think is going to make a difference. And I think it's important to begin those talks as soon as possible regionally to see and to look at other parts of the country to see what they're doing and how they're solving their infrastructure problems. We have some very aging pipes and water pipes in the city and in the county that we need to pay attention to as well. Being proactive instead of reactive, I think, is a very important thing to do.
Thank you. Dr.
Yeah, I think the first thing we have to do is make a clear statement that transportation is in fact a priority in Baltimore County. And for me, that's why I'm proud to have called for a standalone Department of Transportation that is solely focused on transportation issues. And it's not commingled with public works or other infrastructure needs across our county. Those needs are sufficient enough that we can have an entire department focused on infrastructure and another department focused on our transportation networks. As county executive, we'll go beyond just buses, and we do need a regional network. But I'll push for a multimodal transportation network that includes bike paths, making our communities more walkable, and where appropriate, having thoughtful transit options.
Thank you. Senator Brochin?
So I went to work at Point Atlantic about 6 or 7 months ago, and they showed me a map on the wall. And the map has 2/3 of the area where there's development taking place, and this 1/3 of the top is totally barren. And I said to the people who showed me, I said, "Why is this barren?" And they said, "We don't have water and soap. We don't have a hookup for water and soap." And I said, "Well, did you talk to the county executive?" And they said, "Yes, we did." What was the response? He told us to wait our turn. 2 weeks later, the county council, by a 4-3 vote, and the county executive approved a $43 million bailout for the developers of Towson. Okay, this is about priorities, and this is what's going to make a good next county executive. A county executive has the priorities straight.
Thank you. Councilman Almond, will you want to respond? Thank you. We started part 8 with 2 minutes of introductions going from left to right. To close, we'll close with closing statements going from right to left. Starting with Dr. Olszewski.
Thank you. Thanks, Josh, and thanks, Lauren. You guys did a wonderful job tonight. Thanks to everyone in the crowd, the audience who came out. Whether you have a mind made up or an open mind, I'm grateful that you're here. I want to thank Towson University again and the Towson University Democrats for hosting, and both my opponents for throwing their hat in the race and being a part of this. I know it's not an easy thing to do. If you believe it's time to do big things in Baltimore County and do them now, if you think it's time to be bold on education and job creation and making county government accessible, transparent, and responsive to you, I hope that you'll join our efforts. I hope that you'll see someone on our orange shirts tonight and sign up for the campaign. I hope that you'll visit our website, gojohnny.com, that you'll engage with us on the doors, on Facebook and Twitter, because this really is about the future of our county. It's a future that is very personal to me, that I see through the eyes of my 2-year-old daughter. It's about the county that she's growing up in and the kind of legacy that we're leaving. You know, when whomever is elected county executive, if they're fortunate enough to serve 2 terms, the entire trajectory of Daria's life will be set. She'll be 3 years old when someone's sworn in, and she'll be a middle schooler and basically a teenager by the time our terms are up. For her and the hundreds of thousands of kids across our county, their trajectory in life will be set. That's why I'm proud to be the education candidate in this race. I'm proud to be committed to a bold, progressive vision for what's possible in the county, and I ask for your vote, and I hope that you'll join us on this effort. Thank you.
Senator Brochin.
First of all, thank you. Josh, you did a great job, and I know your dad is proud of you. And Marron did a really fantastic job. And I want to thank everybody for coming out here. This is the truest form of democracy, and I want to thank Johnny, and I want to thank Councilwoman Almond for participating, because this is how you're going to get to the decision, by listening to the 3 of us and see who you most identify with. You know, this job requires vision, and the county executive is going to set the agenda. And my agenda is simple. I want to foster thriving communities so that they have a quality of life in Baltimore County that is absolutely unmatched. Great schools, safe neighborhoods, and a host of recreational opportunities with lots of open space, parks, ball fields, and rec centers. So we have a quality of life here. So when you come home from work, you have a quality of life that is unmatched in the state of Maryland. As a state senator, I made very tough choices on critical public policy issues. We need a county executive who examines every issue, collects the best ideas, and moves the county forward. I've been that person for 16 years as a state senator for the 42nd District, and I want to be that person again as your county executive. So tonight I also ask you for your vote, and thank you. This has been great.
Thank you. Councilwoman Almond?
Thank you. Thank you, Josh and Lauren. You did do a great job with it. Thank you. I just want to reiterate that being county executive would be a true honor. Baltimore County is a great place to live, but it's all Baltimore County that we need to pay attention to, not just certain parts. There is an inequity across Baltimore County that needs to be looked at. Our county is changing every day. We have such diversity in our county that we need to celebrate, that we need to work with in ways we never worked with before. Baltimore County does need bold, new moves, but nothing changes the fact that you have to have a strong leader, and I have that experience from being on the council for 8 years. I've been chair of the council for twice, and you need that sort of leadership, and you need someone with the ability to bring people together, to work together. And I have proven that in the past, and I will continue to prove that moving forward. Bringing people together for compromise, to work on those tough issues, and to let people have ownership of their county and to be a part of the process moving forward and to be a part of the future moving forward. And I would like to say that I would hope myself and my opponents that we could run on our own merits and on our own experience and not by disrespecting others. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you, and that concludes the debate. Thank you to the candidates, and thank you everyone.